What's up, family? My name is Trail, and today we have some hot topics that I want to share with you. For starters, the House of Representatives just passed another bill on Friday. Now, originally everyone thought that this was just an April Fool's joke, but it turned out to be serious. It's a bill that is a little controversial depending on who you speak with, and I will let you guys in on being the judge of that. So, also in the news, guys, the war in Ukraine has taken a turn, and now the Russian president is calling for some new incomers to its military. In addition to that, Congress is pleading with President Biden in regards to the student loan payments. The student loan payments have been halted for several times since 2020, and those expirations are about to end. And last but not least, guys, hey, more than 500,000 Americans could see a $300 stimulus check. Now, as a quick reminder on this channel, we cover everything from what's going on around the world with the stock market, with the war in Ukraine, as well as multiple daily news stories around the world. So if you're interested in any of these topics today and you want to be a part of this channel, be so kind and go ahead and subscribe to it. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Okay, guys, I wanted to remind you about that free $100 that you can get within a couple of weeks by signing up with Chime Bank, because it is offering free $100 to new customers if you sign up, as well as set up a direct deposit from your employer. Now, once you reach a total of $200 being direct deposited, you will immediately get an additional $100 deposited. And actually, I did this a couple of weeks ago just to verify that everything was legit, and I received my money the same time that my $200 threshold was actually met. So if you have income and you want to receive this free money, go ahead and sign up today using the link down below, and then go ahead and share your link with your family and friends so that they can benefit as well. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. For the month of March, the economy in the U.S. did pretty good, I must say. The economy ended up adding around 431,000 jobs in the month of March, as far as unemployment actually went down to 3.6%. Now, the U.S. ended up adding these particular jobs, and the unemployment rate dropped to 3.6% in March, and job growth fell slightly short of expectations, as consensus estimates from economists projected a gain of roughly around 490,000 jobs to be in March, and a decline in the jobless rate to be around 3.7%. So otherwise, guys, this is still some very good information and some news for the U.S. economy, especially as we continue to try to recover from the pandemic. But resilient consumer spending and historically strong demand for workers help power the U.S. economy to another steady job gain. So again, guys, we are definitely hopeful for this, and we hope that we can increase this amount of jobs for the month of April as well. I'll keep you guys posted. Now, Jen Psaki is leaving the White House, guys, but this is for a good reason, because she's actually leaving because she received another job with MSNBC. Now, I don't know exactly what issues that she had while serving for the White House as the press secretary, but she is leaving very soon. And this is around after she ended up working for around one entire year as the press secretary. Now, it says right here that after serving as the press secretary for more than a year, Jen Psaki will leave the Biden administration for a job at MSNBC. Now, Psaki has held nearly daily briefings since the start of the Biden presidency and has generally been praised for her transparency. Now, she had initially said that she would stay in her position for at least a year, but a number of overlapping crises, such as the coronavirus pandemic, the withdrawal from Afghanistan, and most recently the war in Ukraine, appear to have extended her tenure. Now, the news outlet Puck had previously reported that Psaki was in talks with CNN and MSNBC, and there was even speculation that she might replace MSNBC's primetime star Rachel Maddow, who is stepping back from her nightly hosting duties. But Psaki will join the cable news landscape crowded with alumni of high-level Washington politics. So guys, we hate to see her go, but she will be leaving here very soon for a better, potentially better job. Moving on, guys, President Biden ended up announcing a historic oil reserve release and presses oil companies to do their part as far as reducing the gas prices in the United States and other countries as well. But President Biden said on Thursday, and he announced an unprecedented release of oil reserves for the American people, guys. Now, these particular steps are an attempt to reduce the gas prices while also putting on onus on oil companies to increase supply. Now, the dramatic step, which Biden announced from the White House, confronts what has become a looming political problem months ahead of the midterm elections. He said that our prices are rising because of Russian President Vladimir Putin's actions on Ukraine. There isn't enough supply, and the bottom line is that if we won't lower gas prices, we need to have more oil supply right now. The president added that your family budgets to fill a tank of gas. None of it should hinge on whether or not a dictator declares war on another country. So again, guys, Biden is calling for the release of these oil barrels to be released into the economy, in which he stated that he wants 180 million barrels of oil to be released. Now, what this is going to do is going to put the pressure on oil companies to say, look here, guys, we need you to go ahead and lower these oil prices, especially because of what's going on right now in Ukraine with this war being invaded by Russia. So again, guys, we are hoping that this actually does the trick, because most Americans cannot afford these continuing increases in gas prices. I hope this actually works, guys. Now, moving on to some more controversial news that ended up happening on Friday, which was April the 1st. Right here, this article came out and said that the House has approved of a bill to legalize marijuana. Now, initially, when I saw this, I was like, man, is this like an April Fool's joke? But guys, it turned out that it is not an April Fool's joke. This actually happened on Friday. Yes, the House ended up passing legislation on Friday to legalize marijuana nationwide and to eliminate the long-standing criminal penalties for anyone who distributes or possesses marijuana on them. Now, lawmakers passed the bill largely along party lines, 222-204, with 3 Republicans joining all but 2 Democrats in support of this bill. Now, the 3 Republicans who voted for the bill were Representative Matt Gaetz, Brian Mast, and Tom McClintock, while Democratic Representatives Henry Kohler and Chris Pappas voted against this bill. Now, this particular measure now goes to the Senate for their vote, where Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is working with fellow Democrats to introduce a marijuana legalization bill as soon as this spring. But so far, guys, it is not clear that a bill to broadly legalize marijuana could clear the necessary 60 votes to advance in the Senate. Now, right now, Chuck Schumer may not have enough support within his own Democratic caucus. At least 2 Democrats who represent states ravaged by the opioid epidemic, which is Senators Joe Manchin and Janine Shaheen, have expressed their skepticism about this particular proposal. But so far, guys, House Democrats previously passed a bill to legalize this back in December of 2020, but that measure didn't go anywhere in the Senate, which was still under the GOP control at that time. So guys, if you are in support of this being passed, which I will say I am in support, especially for those individuals that have been caught with possessions of this for either personal use or maybe just large amounts of it for their personal self, I do think that those individuals should be released from prison or released from jail. I think that that would actually release the huge influx of those individuals in the jail systems right now. I mean, if you think about it, guys, this particular thing, such as marijuana, has not caused major damage as far as individuals taking this on a daily basis. This is nowhere near these other drugs that are being considered for the opioid. But that's just my personal opinion, guys. But anyways, guys, hey, this bill was passed in the House, and now it is headed on over to the Senate, in which they are really concerned, the Democrats are concerned on whether or not they will actually be able to receive enough votes, which they need 60 votes in order to pass this bill nationwide in the Senate. But again, guys, I will keep you guys posted on any updates that we received on regards to this bill. I believe that they will be sending it to the Senate for their vote sometime next week. I'll keep you guys posted. Now, the war in Ukraine, guys, continues to go on. But I will say earlier this week, I proposed that the war was actually coming to an end. And that is because the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, said that he was going to remove some of his troops from trying to encircle the capital of Ukraine. But yes, that we were thinking that him removing some of his troops, we thought that he was going to remove them and return them back to Russia. But instead, he just moved those troops to another area of Ukraine. He actually moved them over to the east side of Ukraine, which is close to Donbas. But guys, the Russian president actually tricked those individuals, in which this was part of the negotiations. We thought that the negotiations was leading to him withdrawing from the invasion on Ukraine, but instead he was just moving his troops to another area to capture that area of Donbas, in which, guys, that is exactly what happened. The U.S. did not want to believe that the Russian president was going to go ahead and withdraw all of the troops from this invasion. But that is exactly what happened, guys. Those troops ended up being repositioned to another area. And now this breaking news ended up coming out on Thursday or Friday, in which Russia is now drafting an additional 135,000 more troops, or what they call conscripts. But they are saying that those new conscripts will not go to Ukraine. Now, I will say that so far, everything that the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, has said has not been true, guys. I don't want to necessarily call him a liar, but that is exactly what he has been doing. So can we believe this particular information that is coming from Russia right now, in which they are drafting 135 individuals for their military, but they are not going to use those to be included in the war in Ukraine? I will say, guys, we do not want to believe this information. We can only assume that he is looking for more troops to go ahead and help out to conquer his original mission of Ukraine, which is conquering the capital, which is Kyiv. So again, guys, right now the Russian troops are really just calling for more troops to join its military, because Ukraine has been very strong lately in holding off Russians from encircling the capital of Ukraine. Now, will this exactly happen, guys? We don't know as of yet, but I believe that he is trying to solicit some individuals from Syria to join their military groups, guys. But we'll just have to see exactly how this turns out over the next couple of days. But moving on, guys. Now, Congress, which consists of the House and the Senate, which in this article specifically is referring to the Democrats, they are urging President Biden to extend the loan pause, which is referring to the student loan payments being started up back again. Yes, Democrats, more than 90 Democrats in the House and the Senate, are calling on President Biden to extend the moratorium on the federal student loan payments through the end of this year, ramping up pressure on the White House for further action just weeks before the pause is set to lapse. Now, some of the top Democrats in both chambers joined in making a request to President Biden in a letter that was sent to President Biden this past Thursday, which included Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and the House Majority Leader Whip James Clyburn. Others, such as Senator Elizabeth Warren and Raphael Warnock, also responded to this particular letter as well. Now, in this letter, the lawmakers echo calls made by other Democrats in recent days for the administration to push back the May 1st deadline, when the current suspension on student loan payments is set to expire, saying that President Biden should extend it until at least the end of the year. I mean, you have already extended this all the way from 2020, when the pandemic actually started. So why not go ahead and extend it to the end of 2022? But guys, President Biden has not yet budged on this news data. And right now, guys, we have about 30 to 31 days before the student loan payments pause is set to expire. Now, the loan payments were first paused back in early 2020 under the moratorium that was set in place by the Trump administration at the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the hold, which also extends the interest accrual on those student loans, has been extended several times under the previous and the current administration. Now, Biden last extended the pause back in December amid the growing calls from Democrats to keep the moratorium in place. And meanwhile, the lawmakers on Thursday signaled growing pressure on the president to push for a broader debt cancellation. Democrats are still pushing for student loan debt to actually be removed in this country. But so far, President Biden is holding his ground in regards to only going up to $10,000 threshold as far as wiping out student loan debt. But the Democrats are continuing over and over to pressure the president as far as wiping out all student loan debt for student loan borrowers. But I do not believe that is exactly going to happen, guys. I do not think that the Biden administration or any further future administration is going to wipe away all student loan debt. But that's just my opinion, guys. Don't hold me to it. And last but not least, guys, hey, we do have some surprise stimulus checks that are going to be worth up to $300 that is going to be going out to around 500,000 Americans. Now, it says right here, guys, that more than 500,000 Americans in Delaware are in line to get a stimulus check or stimulus payment worth up to $300. Now, officials say that the payments are among plans to use a $1 billion surplus, and it's hoped that taxpayers could get this cash before the date of June the 30th. Now, around 600,000 residents in the state of Delaware who filed their 2020 tax returns are expected to benefit from this cash boost. Now, the stimulus payments are set to cost around $186 million, and a vote on the checks could take place in the General Assembly next month, according to the recent reports. Now, House Majority Leader Valerie Longhurst said that now we have the opportunity to invest in our residents and to provide direct relief to every taxpayer in the state of Delaware. Now, these rebates are one way that we can help offset residents' recent hardships as well as to ease the burden that many are facing right now in this country. And Delaware Governor John Carney said that my hope is that these direct payments will provide some measure of relief for Delaware families who are dealing with higher costs at the grocery stores and at the gas pumps. Right now, guys, the average gas prices in Delaware stand at around $4.09, according to the American Automobile Association. And states right now are proposing financial support packages to help cash-strapped Americans amid the inflation and the gas price increases. So again, guys, hey, I hope all of this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. Now, if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you end up liking today's video, then go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.